Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. In this video, we're going to be doing part 2 of the MMA content creator tier list. Now, I'm going to be 100% honest with you. I didn't think that I'd be doing a part 2 to this one, but you guys had came in and absolutely flooded the comment section with your favorite MMA content creators that you believe should have made the tier list. And in all honesty, after doing further research, no. There's one of these guaranteed for our S tier. There's a few in our A tier. Most of these are gonna be in D tier, okay? And in fact, like most of these are very solid. We're gonna be getting to them. Think of this as this is the fans. This is the comment section version. I'm gonna call it part 2 just to make it easier in the algorithm. Let's get started. Jack Slack. Now, admittedly, I have not watched a ton of Jack Slack, so I've seen a few of his videos. I've seen the Filthy Casual guides. Those are probably my favorite types of videos that he does. The one thing I will give him a little extra credit for is he covers fighters that not a lot of people know about. Sakuraba. Like, how many of you guys know about Sakuraba? Like, off the top of your head, can you name a few fights from him? Like, if you asked me a year ago, I wouldn't be able to do it. Like, I really like content creators that go out of the way to like tell stories of MMA fighters that were big before it became mainstream. Like, he's gonna earn an extra point in my book. And admittedly, he puts more effort into his videos than I put into mine. Is it my favorite type of content? No, it's up there though. No question. I'm gonna put him above me. The MMA dose fair. I would actually say middle of B tier. You can even justify putting him above Sean O'Malley. You know what? I'm going to be as gracious as I possibly be in this video. I'm going to put him above Sean O'Malley. Full Mount MMA is a classic. Most people get their news from them. Like, I can't put him above there. And MMA Che, he's a G too. I can't. Next up, Bedtime MMA. This is the one that you guys absolutely flooded my comment section with. And yeah, I'm going to take the L on that one. Bedtime. Smaller dude, kind of bigger than me, but I mean like smaller than the big guys. Still, quality content. Like, honestly, he probably offers pound for pound, like, top 5 of my favorite commentary. Like, his skill of commentary is up there. And just because of how underrated he is, and the fact that he got snubbed in the first video, I'll admit it, I think he earns his spot A tier. I'm going to say low A tier. There's a few things that could be done just a little bit better, but it's stuff that, like, I can't really judge on because it's stuff that I'm admittedly not that good. I'm not the best editor. I do like him, though. His commentary is top-notch, okay? Like, he competes with, like, your Lucas Tracy's, your MMA gurus, in terms of his gift of gab, if that makes sense. Next dude, Rigo. Rigo! I've known of Rigo for a minute. Everything from, like, the MMA guru chats to these classics. Man, I wish I can find his classic one. Okay. If you have not seen this video, please do yourself a favor. Watch this video. It is probably one of the funniest videos in this space on YouTube. I know it sounds like a glaze. It's probably his best work. I'll admit it. That's probably his best work. I don't want to put everybody in A tier. I think Bedtime MMA is just a little bit better than Rigo. I think Rigo, in my mind, as far as entertainment value, creativity, consistency with his post, he earns a spot above me, slightly above Jesse on Fire. Yeah, I would say I would put him in the same avenue as a Jack Slack. I think that's fair. Next up, TJ Loves Fights. In this video, I'm just going to be looking up every single one. It actually makes it easier in the editing process because I can actually just go to these spots and do the cuts. TJ Loves Fights. A bigger dude. Definitely been snubbed. I remember watching these videos. Yeah, no. He got snubbed in the first one. I'll give him a subscribe to mend it, okay? I'm not subscribed to everybody on here, But TJ Loves Fights is a dude that I'm shocked I wasn't subscribed to. Classic videos. I'm sure you've seen these on your For You page. Super professional looking dude. He reminds me. He kind of reminds me like a little bit of like a tech channel mixed with an MMA channel. Like he brings that professionalism to it that I do respect. And he's definitely going to be in our upper echelons. Bedtime MMA, do not crucify me in the comment section. I like TJ just a little bit more than Bedtime MMA. That is purely, that's pure, just my subjective opinion. I will say this. I'm going to be making some changes from the last video. The JRE is going to be going in our S tier, purely because each one of these, how S tier works is, each dude is in that for their specific niche. MMA Guru for being edgy. The Weasel for his fight breakdowns. MMA On Point for their not their tier list, their top 10s. Chael Sonnen and Yapper. Joe Rogan, best podcast. They are the best of their fields. Next up, Aljamain Sterling. So, okay, the next two kind of go together. Aljamain Sterling and Jamal Hill, they do a weekly scrap podcast. That goes together. So, where one goes, they're both going to go. Aljamain Sterling, this is going to sound mean. I think production value, he's above Corey. I like Corey Sandhagen, very underrated guy, very underrated YouTube channel. Please check him out. But Aljamain Sterling is above Corey Sandhagen, but as effed up as it is, O'Malley not only beat him in the caves, O'Malley, for whatever reason, just has a better podcast than he does, in my opinion. And same thing goes with Jamal Hill. Jamal Hill is the personality behind the podcast. I like Aljamain. Aljamain is very overhated, admittedly. Jamal Hill is probably the most underrated champion ever. I understand he never defended the belt. That's for a different video. But dude gets disrespected for almost no reason. And before you bring up the arrest thing, you disliked him before the arrest thing. Like, we can't hold that over the guy. He's an entertaining dude, funny guy. Also trains, like 40 minutes from my house. Very chill dude. Yeah, I'm going to put him right here. Next up, True Geordie. Oh, boy. Okay. I say this with love, and I can say this because he is so much bigger than me, so it's not a punching down thing. I am punching up. True Geordie. The biggest thing True Geordie has going for him is it's his, I don't even know how to say it, production value. True Geordie's production value is better than 95% of everybody in this space. But at the same time, he's barely an MMA channel, and I'm just going to say it, True Geordie is a casual MMA fan. And you go down a tier. He's definitely going to go down a tier because of the DMs. I'm sorry, I got to do it. And since he's barely an MMA channel, I'm sorry, like even his takes are fairly casual when he does put it out. He's going to go in C tier. I think Lucas Tracy understands MMA better than True Geordie does. Actually, we're going to keep moving him down. We're going to keep moving him down, actually. Yeah, this is your good lineup. True Geordie, Kimura, and MMA Joey. That's the trinity. Patrick Gavia. Okay, let's look him up. You guys, I know you guys have seen his videos, but you might not know it's him behind it. Patrick Gavia made these videos. He is, and I don't want to step on any toes here, probably the most talented documentary MMA YouTuber content creator in the space. In my humble opinion, there's other dudes that are close, and we're going to cover another one that is fairly close to his skill level. But I'm going to say Patrick Gavia is going to earn a spot in S tier purely because he is the best in his given field. And he seems like a cool dude. Like, you get points there. If I think you are a pretty cool dude, then I'm going to put you in S tier as long as everything else is up to snuff. And trust me, it is. His production value is insane. Next up, Nina Drama. Now, I'm sure you guys know who she is, but just for the sake of myself, we're going to go through this again. Nina Drama, pretty big, pretty big content creator in this space. She made it big off, let's be real, Nina Drama made it big and viral in MMA off Sean Strickland. Like, don't get me wrong, she is talented as a reporter on herself. Strickland helped her out. Like the same way that MMA gurus rants about Dagestanis made him, Nina getting attached to Sean Strickland made her. Unpopular opinion. She has a good stick. Honestly, of all like the social media people that are involved in MMA right now, I'll say this right now. I prefer Nina over the entirety of Full Send. Full Send is a cancer to MMA. And admittedly, yes, he's better than me. I'm going to put her in terms of everything that she has going for him. I actually think she's better than Full Mount MMA because he's actually going out to get these and not just reporting the news. She's initiating these interviews. Yeah, I'll put her at a fairly high B tier. I think that's pretty fair. Wonderboy. Wonderboy, admittedly, is probably going to be at the upper echelon of MMA YouTubers. The one thing I will say... This video is sponsored by? I don't think I can sell that. The one thing I will admit is he's probably the most creative when it comes to his content style. And when he's done, I think this is going to be a huge moneymaker for him. Wonderboy, probably the most likable fighter in the UFC. That alone. Because he's the... I'm going to put him right next to Strickland. Yes, this is a good trinity. Like the best MMA content creators that come from UFC or ONE FC. I'm going to say they're at the top of the A tier. I think that's pretty fair. Next up, he actually commented on one of my last videos, which is really cool. He's the one that wanted Patrick Gavia on here. And don't forget, I forgot you. Lionel Rivera. I'm sorry if I say your name wrong. Sorry for anybody that I say your name wrong or spell your name wrong. Just bear with me. I knew from the time that bigger dude, but at the same time, I'm going to say underrated. A slightly underrated. Skilled similarly to, like, your Patrick Gavia. Like, impressive editing. He's the same as another dude I named earlier. He reminds me, if he is, like, the love child of, like, a tech channel. Like, somebody who does, like, tech review channels. In MMA. And I really like that. That's something that I didn't expect to like. I like his niece. I like how he puts forth information. Don't take this the wrong way because I'm pretty sure he is going to comment. They're a little bit funnier. Like you got to have this a little bit funnier. You're better than Mac Life though. Like Mac Life just films a press conference. You're better than everybody here. Like look at all the people that you're better than. Like, if anybody's getting in the A tier here, it's going to be you. Napoleon Blownapart. Now, don't crucify me. I didn't watch a single one of his videos. Like, before this. Like, I understand he's a bigger guy. But at the same time, I genuinely haven't seen any of these. Good content. Good commentary from what I've seen. And I've seen not a lot. I understand why he is one of those bigger guys, and he is going to go up pretty high on here. At the same time, I'm just not a fan of the thumbnail style. I don't know. Like, I got to dock a point for the thumbnail style. It's his brand. I don't know. It's just not for me. He's clearly for a lot of people, but this is definitely going to be very subjective. I think Rigo is more entertaining than Napoleon Blownapart. Fuck, this is tough. Okay, you're going to go just behind Aljamain Sterling and Jamal Hill. That's how I'm going to put it. Crucify me in the comment section. I don't think that's too mean. Alexander Volkanovski. Good, not great. He is perfect middle of the road in terms of how good of a UFC fighter turned content creator. Not great by any means, but also like not anywhere near bad. Like, I think this is going to be a perfect B tier. I think he's a little bit worse than Henry Cejudo. This is tough. MMA Che's better. Nina Drama's a bit more informative. I would say he's above Full Mount MMA. I would say he's a bit above Full Mount MMA. Take a look at his channel. I love his cooking with Volk. Actually, yeah. His cooking with Volk puts him above Full Mount MMA because I didn't expect to like that as much as I do. Next up, Mixed Molly Whoppery. Mixed Molly Whoppery is and this is very subjective. I'm not saying this as like the objective truth. Mixed Molly Whoppery is the second best documentary maker in the space, okay? I think a lot of people have seen these videos. Some people have seen these more than Patrick Gavia. It's just, and sometimes he outdoes Patrick on a few instances, but sometimes Patrick Gavia beats him. Like, they're very even, and because I have to choose one who's going to go S tier, he narrowly misses S tier for that reason. But I'm going to put him above a lot of people here. I'm going to put him above Wonderboy, above Top Hero MMA, Steven Strangles. Yeah, okay, that's fair. Mixed Molly Whoppery is legitimately talented. Morning Kombat. Okay. I was not going to put him on here, but because people wanted him in the comment section, fine, I'll put him on. And he's pretty mainstream. And listen, I'm not against other people's views, and he does do interviews with people that I don't think people interview enough, like Gordon Ryan, Cade Rotolo, other Rotolo brothers, other points in combat sports. Admittedly, a little cringe sometimes, just a little. I think he's very professional. I appreciate what he does for the space, the talent and commentary he brings in. I don't agree with a lot of his views. I just don't. The whole Strickland mess, you lose a little bit of my respect there, because this will be for a different video, but let me just give you the gist so I can justify his rating. He brought up the argument with like free speech since on Strickland, and that it's not really a free speech issue because of Islam Makhachev got censored when he did his whole Palestine speech, and it's like, no, he didn't get censored. It's a completely different issue. Different rant. Morning Kombat, just because of that, honestly. Like, admittedly better than me. Like, I'm not that dumb. Better than me. Aljamain's better than you. Yeah. Aljamain's better than you. You're just a little bit better than Napoleon Blownapart. And finally, I don't plan on doing a part 3, but if there's enough people, like, rioting for a part 3, then I'll find some more people, is Gilbert Burns. Up there, I'm just going to spoil it. He's not going to be in the upper echelons here. He's by no means boring. I actually think personality-wise, he's up there in terms of likability. Like, every time I see something for him on Embedded, he seems like a cool dude. But as far as creativity, I gotta dock him a point. It's, hey, here's me reacting to a fight, talking about a fight, and me doing jiu-jitsu. At least Volk is giving cooking videos and he has a stick. And yes, I'm gonna count that in there. Gilbert Burns is going to be... He's not as good. I prefer him over Morning Kombat. And looking at this tier list, there's a few things that I'm going to fix. Ariel Helwani, as much as I disagree with the guy, I'm going to put him at the bottom of C tier. I think we're doing pretty well here. Yeah. In my subjective opinion, this is good. Now, if you want to go in the comment section and argue somebody should be higher, very, very subjective. You can come up with that. Debate in the comment section below. But in my humble opinion, this is as accurate as I can make it. These are definitely the people that I appreciate the most in this space. But at the same time, I would keep an eye out for your TJ Loves Fights, Bedtime MMA. Like, these are the guys that I think are either up to their point in talent or could get way better in the future. Watch out for these guys. And I think that's going to be it. Thank you guys again for watching. Thank you guys for the support you gave me on the last video. It means the absolute most to me. I'm trying to build something of my own on here. And maybe I'll go from a low B tier to a low A tier within the next year. Thank you guys for your continued support. Adios, guys. Have a good one.